Our next speaker is Major Carlos Benitez, retired Army National Guard. Major Benitez served 32 years with distinction. 1-year combat tour in Iraq. His career has taken him to many countries and assignments. Reforger in Germany, 1985. Engineer Liaison Officer, 1994. Guatemala. Operation Bright Star, 2008, in Cairo, Egypt, just to name a few. He was the company commander for headquartered 152nd Engineer Battalion, action officer for the U.S. Southern Command here in Doral, Florida. Today, Major Benitez will recount some of the stories that characterize for God and country. Please join me in welcoming to the lectern, Toastmasters, Major Carlos Benitez.
Good morning, Toastmasters and honored guests. Today on Veterans Day, we come together to honor those who have dedicated their life to serving the country. For me, for God and country isn't just a phrase. It's my guiding principle for over 30 years in the Guard and beyond. Veterans Day is a time we show appreciation to our honored veterans, as opposed to Memorial Day where we honor the fallen. But I will never forget those that we left behind. Never forget. Fellow Toastmasters, today I'd like to share three vistas, three stories that bring to life the heart of what for honor and country, for God and country typify. These short stories are from my own journey in the Guard, the veterans I've served alongside, and my life in service to veterans after I hung up the uniform. First point being faith in the field. I joined the Guard in 1980, a decision that would take me through decades of service, including the longest year in my life, serving a tour of combat in Iraq from 2004 to 2005. In the roughest moments, faith was my constant companion, especially during that tour overseas. There's one memory that sticks with me during a particular tense night when things were uncertain. I was praying quietly, and one of my buddies who had a knack for humor said, "Hey, if God's listening, could you ask him to reschedule a less tense night?" We both laughed, and sometimes that's all we could do. But inside, I knew prayer wasn't just a ritual. It was my rock, something that kept me steady even on those turbulent nights. For God and country starts with that kind of faith that lifts us up and carry us through forward. We lost 5 men from my unit that tour. Point number 2, the honor of service beyond the uniform. After retiring in 2012 with 32 years of loyal, selfless service, I wasn't done serving. I took a new role as the Director of Veterans Services for the Erie County, Buffalo area. My mission became helping those like me to navigate the maze of VA compensation claims and other entitlements. I wanted them to get what they deserved, to know that they hadn't been forgotten. I also joined the American Legion, where I now serve for over 30 years and continue to help file some people claims. See me later, Carson. I got some stories, some news for you. One story from that time as a director sticks with me. A young veteran came to my office frustrated after months of going back and forth with the VA red tape and bureaucracy. We went through his paperwork, and without giving too much away, his paperwork wasn't exactly in military order. I told him, all right, let's treat this like a military operation. First step, let's get organized. So we got together, shared some laughs, and after long hours, we were able to come up with a viable claim. After a few months, he finally realized the benefits of having the claim awarded to him. And for me, ladies and gentlemen, that's for God and country. Going the extra mile, even outside of the military, to honor those who served. Our duty to each other doesn't stop when we take off the uniform. I continue to help neighbors in need, except now I'm doing it with the incarcerated. Point number 3, the family who serves alongside of us. My final story is about family who serve in their own way. Throughout the years in the Guard, my family was there to support me through thick and thin. And they always made sure that I knew what was missing whenever I was away, especially the food. One year after returning from deployment, we gathered for a huge family feast with all the fixings: pernil, Puerto Rican roast pork, arroz con gandules, and my aunt's famous pasteles. My uncle, with his usual sense of humor, looks over at me and says, "All that training, and you still don't handle the real mission, finding good food while deployed?" We laugh. But to me, the gathering was much more than just a meal. It was a reminder of home and the strength my family gave to me throughout my service. It showed me that for God and country also means honoring those who stay behind us, lifting us up, and making sure that we're never far away from home, even when we're miles away. In closing, these stories bring to light the meaning for God and country. For some, it's faith that keeps them going. For others, it's a commitment that never fades. And for many, it's the loved ones that share in your sacrifice. So today, as we honor our veterans, let us remember their stories. Let's be grateful for their unwavering faith, their pride, the family that stood behind them. To all our veterans, thank you for God and country, and for all the stories that will live on in our hearts. Say it with me: never forget.
Never forget.
Thank you.